What's up, you guys? I hope you're very well. I hope you're having a very nice day. Today, we have this pre bonsai. You can see in the title that this is a pink trumpet tree. This is not a very common species in the United States or for bonsai in general, but it's a species that grows very well where I live. It's a flowering tree. I'm going to write the scientific name in the description box, but you can see that some of the characteristics is that it's got this five lobed composite leaf. That's quite big, actually. Yeah, and it's a tropical or semi tropical tree. I'm developing this in a very natural style, and you can see that it's growing in this container with lots and lots of drainage. And this has been grown from seed. If you look at this root mass that we have here, you can definitely see some character. It used to have another root that crossed over here, but what happens with this? Oh, here it is. These are the remains of the root that we had here. Kind of interesting. So, what happens with this type of tree is that the roots become exposed like this, and they're very spongy. You know, they are very spongy, and after a couple of years, what happens is that they just simply dry up, and they uh, they get brittle and they just fall off the tree. And the tree continues to live with the roots that it still has underground. So, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to weaken the sacrifice branch over here because I want the growth to, you know, concentrate in this area right here. A couple of weeks ago, I was contemplating just keeping this section, and we would have only this section right here. So that would be a little bit more compact. Um, so that would mean that I would have had to cut this section over here, which has got some ramification, but I decided to keep it at the moment and just see what happens when I continue to prune it and pinch it and whatnot. So in the summer, you can see that the new growth has emerged and hardened off. So at the moment, I'm just waiting for those couple of months in autumn where I can fertilize, and yeah, we'll see what happens. At the moment, like I said, I'm gonna prune the sacrifice branch, and I'm also going to clear some of the leaves here that are covering adventitious shoots in these little branches, so that I can get more ramification. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it like this, so we can see where I'm gonna cut. So this, maybe you can see here, we got two little branches coming off at the end of that sacrifice branch. So what we're going to do is prune the most vigorous one. We're just going to leave that little tuft of foliage alive so I can continue elongating. These little shoots that we have here, I'm also going to remove. These are very young shoots, so I don't need pruners or anything. And that's going to encourage even more backbudding. Over here, you can see that we also have this little branch that started emerging from this point in the sacrifice branch. So I'm also going to remove it. Let's see. Here it is. And there we can see a more clearly defined tree with its structures and its sacrifice branch very, very clearly. So now, with some little scissors, I'm going to thin out these patches, and then we're going to call it a day. Okay. So I'm going to do that off camera, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I finish. So here I go. So here we are. We can see that I removed a lot of foliage from the main branches and from the main patches. And I just wanted to show you what we have here at the tips. These are the new shoots that are going to make this little branch to continue to elongate. So those are the ones that I'm going to remove, you know, like this. And like I said, that's going to force the little plant to activate those little shoots that might be laying dormant here and there. So we got another one over here and another one over here. And as you can see now, without those bigger leaves, air and sunlight and water even can enter those lower branches. You can see how we moved from a mature leaf like this one to a smaller one. We're not going to remove all of them, but this is definitely going to encourage backbudding. Yeah. We have another one over here. So if I want this to get more bigger, what I do is that I prune these, and this is going to receive more sunlight, more oxygen, and that's going to pretty much wake up that little bot, and it's going to produce more leaves and little branches in that area. So that's pretty much it for today's work. The last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to remove some of these pilea little weeds because, as I was mentioning at the beginning, um, the root base here that's got like a lot of character, this gnarly looking bark here at the base. Sometimes with these little things that hold up like a lot of water and little droplets of dew and water when I, regularly water the trees, that moisture that stays on the leaves can contribute to the bark rotting. So I think it's a very good idea to remove it completely. And like I was saying in one of my shorts that I uploaded a couple of months ago, it's a good idea to remove it altogether so that it doesn't block out any shoots from the light, or so that it doesn't compete with your plant for more nutrients. So that's pretty much the last thing that I'm gonna do. By the way, I gotta apologize with you guys because this is not the the best setting for the video. It's just that my neighbors they got this incredibly noisy AC unit, and in the afternoons when I can come out and you know be a little bit more at ease in the backyard, they have it on. So that's all the noise that you can hear in the background. But other than that, you know, I think I'll be uploading more videos. And yeah, we're coming up on autumn, and I think that's an exciting time of the year if you're into bonsai, because you can do a lot of things, and you should do a lot of things to prepare your trees for the winter. So, anyway, you can see that this is the little guy. Like I said, it's not your typical bonsai species, but it's definitely a tree that grows very, very well where I live. And by the way, this is a flowering tree. This one in particular, I've grown from seed. I think it's about 10 years old, and it produces little trumpet shaped flowers that can be pink, light pink. They can also be white or even yellow, and they look really, really cool. Downtown in my city, in my town, you can see lots and lots of them during the early days of spring. You can see them in full bloom. So imagine a tree completely covered in white flowers or yellow flowers or pink flowers with no leaves on. It looks really, really cool. So anyway, I think I'm going to continue developing this. Maybe do a little bit of wiring during the winter, and hopefully we'll get more branches here and there. And yeah, we'll continue working this little guy as a bonsai tree. Okay. One last thing, I'm going to show you a little seedling that I collected the other day that I'm kind of excited about. So here we go. This is a little Ficus religiosa that I collected from a botanical garden that we have in our city. It wasn't like a tree in like a container or an exhibition or anything. It was just a little seedling that was growing in a crack in the ground. So I just took it. Yeah, and I'm growing it here. And you can see that is now taken off, and I'm going to start using it as a bonsai project. Another little thing, rainwater here. Another little thing that I wanted to show you is this little peach tree. This is another little project that I'm going to show you in the future. Let me just grab it with one hand so we can see it here. Look, it's kind of cool. You can see the little trunk there. The branches, I'm working on ramifying it a lot, and yeah, heavily feed it so that maybe in a couple of years we can get a couple of flowers here and there, right? So anyway, guys, that's what I wanted to show you. I hope you continue to have a very good day. If you have any comments, doubts, questions, anything, drop them down below. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.